recording. All right. So let me share my screen here. Oh, there's Delmaine. Yay. Wait a minute. Yay. Hi, Delmaine.
Hi, Delmaine.
Hi.
Oh, good to see you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start right away here, Delmaine. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
I'm ready.
Oh, here we go. Here's my screen. And we'll start here. Where's my slideshow? So this one is going to be, there's some great conversation that can come up in this module because a lot of us are really like, okay, I could do everything else, Janice, but selling just makes me cringe, right? And I think there's been a lot of conversation over the last couple years online about selling from your soul and soulful selling. It's because it really is sharing, really. And that's how I see it. I don't have too much problems. There's sometimes I don't want to go on as frequently as maybe I should online to share, but other than that, it's pretty I got pretty good energy around it, right? So the energy of selling, this module will help shift your mindset from the fears of selling into sharing beautiful offers that are coming through you. So this part I find is a lot of times the block as to why we don't go forward in our business, right? So remember, you're co-creating with the universe. So selling is your responsibility to get the light out there. You said yes to the universe. You said yes. Okay, I'm going to level up. Keep in mind that there's always an aligned offer within you. What do you desire to create and what is coming through you? So what do you kind of look around, and we've kind of done those modules about creating your offers, but keep it in mind if you haven't created anything yet, just keep, what are you looking around and seeing where people are struggling with, where you go, I think I could help them with that. I've been through that. I could probably share something with them. So we want to form core beliefs around this, and we want to shift any limiting beliefs that we have within us. So the whole thing about shifting beliefs, we know, is about shining the light on them. What's the fear? Lay it out on the table, right? That's the first big step. And most of the time, that's the hardest part, is either we avoid it or we're not sure and we got to pinpoint it, right? But remembering that it's not about you. It's about you sharing what's coming through you because you said yes to the universe. And remembering that it is safe to share. This is the only way that people will know what you have to offer. So many times people, I'll hear, oh yeah, that's something I do. And I'm like, what? Why didn't I know this? I didn't know. Like, I'm so interested. You need to tell people about this, right? But we've been trained to be quiet, to not talk about ourselves, to let everybody else have the floor first, right? We got to shift into feeling, fun and feeling good about it. This can be fun. And on that, I had a great conversation the other day in Unstoppable Dream with a woman who was talking, like she kind of knew what she wanted to create, but she was blocking it because of fears of what, when you, like, as an artist, you paint this picture that inspired you, and then somebody says, oh, I love that, but can you do it in this color? And you go, sure. And then you're painting it going, why did I do that? Why did I say yes? This is not fun, or commissions can sometimes stretch you into things that you wouldn't normally do, which can be good sometimes, but too much of that and you're not in your creative flow. And so I said to her, like, wait a minute, like she's creating jewelry. And I said, She goes, I love doing it. But then everybody's like, could you do this? Could you do that? And I said, it's your business. Say no.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that just, that kind of, it was such a simple little shift, but it took this huge weight off of her. And she's like, I never thought of it that way. Like, yeah, I could just say, no, these are one of a kind. You choose what's here. That's it. I don't do that. Right. I don't.
I had that experience just last week. My cousin sent me a picture of a woodwork of a beautiful sun person. You know how they put the face in the sun,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was made out of wood. And it was beautiful. And he said, oh, do you think you can do this? And I said, I'm not a woodworker, so no, I can't. Sorry. And I thought, well, I could say I could try, but I know it would never turn out like that.
Yeah.
Like can't possibly. So, I had to tell him no. And I felt bad because he has bought things from me before, but it's just like, oh, sorry, that's not my forte. And then I said, too bad my uncle wasn't still up and doing that sort of stuff. He was a carver and he was fantastic. So,
Well, that would be the same as going to the mechanic and asking him to pull your teeth.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's like that's outside of the mechanic's realm. So
Yeah,
or
I have that.
or
Me.
asking the dentist to. So that's how you explain it very, very simply. It's like, would you take your car to the dentist to get it repaired?
Yeah,
So
totally.
we are very creative, and we choose where our gifts are. So when you say, well, yeah, I can try, it's like, nah, how much energy's in that?
Exactly.
Where did that put your energy? When you told us that story, I felt like you kind of went like, I can do it. I'm not going to enjoy it. So really, is there going to be that energy and passion in your piece when you do complete it?
Yeah,
exactly.
And I have done it before where I've done something for someone, but it's work. Well, it's like, Janice, it's like me trying to do your style of painting when we paint sometimes, right? I can't do it. It's frustrating. It's not my thing, but it turned out good because I spent 14 hours on it, but I didn't enjoy it, right? So yeah, no, I've gotten past that one for sure. That one's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I had the exact same. I did it this summer. A friend or acquaintance, she was in some of my groups before, approached me, and she wanted to get this painting for this older man friend who's getting married. And here was her idea, and it was so full of stuff. And I had said yes, and I had said yes at a really reduced rate. And then I'm painting it going, what am I doing? And I never shared it because I was not pleased with how it turned out. There was no like passion or excitement about creating it. It was very like, okay, how do I do this and make it look good? And then I could feel the energy just like sinking in it. And I finally finished it, and she came to get it. She was very gracious. She loved it, but turned out that they weren't even going to go to the wedding. Like, he had randomly invited them, but then they never got an invitation. So I think her whole energy around it dropped too, because I was just so like, it was like going through mud to get this thing done. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's exactly, it says like selling, like it gets to be good. Like it gets to feel good in the way that works for me, for you, for whoever. So if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. So just like, did I say don't do what I do?
Now I'm starting to enjoy the markets more because I'm just making the connections, right? It's more about having a conversation with someone than anything. So I had a really good experience on Tuesday because the curling rink had a granny's curling day out, and my sister was going, and normally they plan quite a bit ahead of time and have other vendors there. And the lady that was planning it just didn't have a chance to get that done. And so my sister just phoned her and said, oh, well, do you want my sister to come? And so then she got us connected, and she said, yeah, so I was the only person there. And then she said, well, do you want to talk about your stuff? And I said, yeah, I do. And so then I just did it. And so now it looks like I did $150 that day just for randomly going for 2 hours. And then I made connections where I'm going to do an indulgence group, right? Those ladies that get together that have nothing to do with their money. So they're going to get me, and I'm going to do a Mandela class with them, which will be fantastic. So
that'd
it's
be fun.
very worthwhile. Very worthwhile.
Awesome. Oh, that's exciting. It's going
Yeah.
so well for you, Dalmain. I'm so excited.
It is. It's happening.
Yeah. Kelly, were you going to say something?
I was, just before she started talking, I was going to talk about a piece that I was kind of commissioned for. Was my mother-in-law, and she said, hey, I'd like a painting in the house, and I'd like it to have a river and some mountains. So she basically told me everything she wanted. So I got it all completed. I had a birch tree and I had a spruce tree and the mountains and the river and everything, and bring it over. And it was a watercolor. It was, a half sheet of watercolor. And I said, here's your painting. I just have to put it into a frame. Oh, it's too bad you couldn't have put a bear or a deer in there. And as quickly as she said it, I said, oh, I did already. He's hiding in the bush. Because I thought, well, a bear or a deer is going to totally wreck it, because it would be on top of watercolor. Well, I don't know if you guys are watercolorists.
Yeah.
It's not easy to change a watercolor.
No.
So I went with that, and I went, well, he's already in there. Can't you see? So you had to look beyond the trees to see him. And there really was no bear or deer in the actual painting.
The energy of the beer and the deer bear were there.
The beer too, yeah. Yeah, so when I go to their house and I see that painting on the wall, I just snicker to myself, because it's like, wow, there's a deer in there.
I love it. At least
Yeah.
he's hanging it up for you. That's good.
Oh, well, no, they had asked for it. And so it was like, okay, this needs to get done. It wasn't something that I would have painted myself.
Yeah.
It was what she requested. So that's one of those sticky commission things. It's like, I want this, and then I want a little bit of orange in it, and it's like, orange? This is a spring painting. There's no orange unless it's an old fallen down old tree. So so it worked out just great. So
yeah, that's good. Well, that's the energy, right? Like when we know what it feels like to be in the flow of creating something that excites us, that feels good. That's when you're co-creating, right? And so as we put that out into the world, like there's somebody there for whatever it is, whatever program it is that's come through, whatever artistic piece, there's somebody out there that's calling it in and sharing it then, so they know where to find it, is serving your highest source, right? And remembering that what you are here to give is enough. We don't have to keep changing and keep up leveling and keep adding. And it's what you have is pure and beautiful, and let it flow through. We muddy it up with thinking, oh, I don't think anyone would buy that.
Yeah.
So your business needs your healthy mindset. Inside of you, coming through you, are all the answers of what to offer, how to price, and how to best take care of yourself so you can show up in the world more fully you. Again, being open to what needs to come through. What's your offer about, right? If you're doing classes or creating programs, let it flow through you, right? What's its message? What's its purpose? Who is it for? And why does she or he need it? How will he or she change from it? how will this change her life? So this is something that, I learned from Amanda Francis. I took her money mentality course about 4 years ago, I think. And I took her Soulfully Selling course also, which I have forgotten about, but it was very, very helpful to shift into, okay, even if I help one person shift into being more of their soulfully aligned self,
Right.
their life has changed. Like, how do you put a price on that? When I do the one-on-one coaching and or my soul retrievals, and people are just like, oh my God. Like, one girl said to me, you are not charging enough. This was absolutely life changing, a transformation. And it just makes me feel really, really good. Like, it's like, like you just don't know. Right. And so, oh, Micah says she's not able to get here. That's okay. Kind of got that.
Question for you, Janice. When you hear someone say to you, you're not charging enough,
Mhm.
how do you change the energy of that in your own presentation of your work? It's like when I do something and it's like, okay, oh, I'm going to be going to see a whole bunch of seniors who are on limited income. So it's almost like I make up the decision
For them.
Yeah.
for them.
Mhm.
And so how do you go around that and say, okay, here it's $50 for my class.
Yeah.
And then it's, well, that's a lot of money.
Mhm.
And then it stops there.
Yeah.
So can you just elaborate on that? Like,
Mm.
where do we go from that?
Yeah. Absolutely. Because I had that happen. Actually, I had the local library book me to do a workshop in the library, and they wanted me to supply everything. And
Wow.
so I said, well, it's going to be $65 each. And then they canceled me. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay with that, because I'm not going in anymore. And my time is worth it, right? My time and my teaching ability and what it is I'm bringing through is worth it. And so you have to get to an amount that you're comfortable with and stay there. Like,
Okay.
when I was doing the paint nights before COVID, I was charging $40 a person. And people would say, wow, that you could be charging more. And I said, well, no, I'm making good money here. Like, I'm doing good. And so I was comfortable with that $40 and happy to hear that people were like, this is worth it. I love it. Right. And then after COVID, when prices all went up, it's like, yeah, it's 55 or 65 now, because paint is expensive now. Like, it's gone up a lot. And so it's really just you going, okay, well, am I comfortable with shifting down to, altering it a little bit and saying, okay, well, I'll do it for 40, but we're going to use a smaller canvas, and,
Okay.
shifting it somehow that way, if you feel it's still worth your time, because there's always other groups out there. There's always other opportunities out there. Do
Yeah.
not sell yourself short. Once you do, you cannot get out of it very easily, because word
Well,
gets around. Oh, call Kelly. She'll do
yeah.
it for 35.
Right. The way you said that, what I just heard was, when you shift your price, the energy shifts.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, we're all about the mystic here, right? So
Yes. And yeah,
this is where we're following our energy.
it's right. And when you get to the point where you're like, yeah, no, I like my soul retrievals are $888, because it takes me the entire day, first of all, basically to do the soul retrieval and to have a one-on-one. And then I hold them and I have one-on-ones with them for another 4 weeks. And it's like, that's my time. And this is like, I take this very seriously. And it's not really about the money. It's that I don't want just everybody coming for a soul retrieval. I only
No.
want the ones that are like, I really, really feel drawn to this. Right. So
Okay.
then if it was like 555, I'd probably have more people, but they've got to be invested in it too. So that energy, right? I put that energy out, like I only want the serious ones coming through, right? And that's the same as, with my paintings. It's like, I love my paintings. I put a lot into them. And when I first started showing with our club, a lot of people thought I was too expensive. And it's like,
Oh,
well, I couldn't imagine selling it for less than that. And I was one of the best sellers in our art shows for many years. So, and I'd look at other people's and they have the beautiful framed watercolors for $100. Well, their frame costs 3/4 of that. Right. And
yeah,
I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, value yourself, take pride in yourself, have that energy within you to say, you know what I have is a gift here and I'm sharing it. And if that energy is huge, right?
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've even had to have conversations with people just saying, sometimes other artists will devalue your work because they bring down the price. And then other people think, well, it's really not worth that much because they're selling it for this.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, like it's sad. It creates a lack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely, well, I think I could probably also charge more for some of my work, depending on what it is, of course. But my teaching, I've actually raised the prices over time here, and it's working because, and I also say I need to have so many people. Like I'm not just going to do it for 4 people at that price. If you get me 10 people, then I could bring it down a little because then it's worth my while. Because my costs, like for my Mandela rocks, aren't really that high for me to do, but my time is.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's where my real value. Well, and it takes me time to put the kits together because everybody gets a kit to take home. So
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta have.
I want to do one of those with you.
Okay, sounds good.
The thing is having the creative talent and the ability to share that with other people, to show them how. There's not that many people that can do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you think I'm charging too much, go ahead, go find someone else, right?
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so pricing of programs is very, like, if you do a class or a course or you do something online, you have to feel into it. And there was a lot of times I was putting these programs together and no one was buying them, or 1 or 2 people would come, and I'm like, automatically I think my price is too high. My price is too high. And then I'll go back through my course and I'm like, this is freaking gold. Right? It's just marketing. It's energy, right? It's just that energy that you exude. And so, you can't give up on it either. If it doesn't sell the first couple times, don't give up on it, and don't lower your price because you think that might not be the reason they're not coming. It just might be a timing thing. It might be you didn't market enough, so soulfully sell. And this one is about, if you're going to do classes or circles, it's creating a sacred space or container for your clients. So this is a good conversation too about building your audience. What's really important for everyone, and that we're going to kind of go into the left brain stuff here too, about good practice in business and social media stuff. So I know some of the other girls are asking about that. It's too bad they're not here because this would be good conversation. but I'll share what I found has worked for me, but you will find different things will work for you in different ways. But building your audience is important, even if it is for classes, even if it is just for a women's circle. And creating a safe place, like a sanctuary, right? Like, so I built Soulfully Aligned Women as a container to be a safe place for women to come and gather and get to know me. There's like, it's free. Come on in. There's so much free stuff in there for you. And this made it really comfortable for me too, to be able to share, to soulfully sell within that container, because people were voluntarily there. Yes. Did you have something? Sorry.
No, I was just scratching my face.
Yeah, it's okay.
No, you'll see me wave like this.
Yeah, it's okay. So it gets to feel good even when I feel some fear about, going in and sharing. I can still do it in a way that makes me feel better. So build your group as a safe place for people to gather, connect, and share. And this creates an energy. So having a Facebook group is a really nice place to continue to promote and continue to build the audience. Like, both of you could do this right now.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page for my business, and I've got 320 people so far.
Awesome. So is it a business page or is it a group? Okay.
I think it's a page.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. You need a page, a Facebook page, in order to promote on Facebook, because you are not supposed to do it on your personal page, right?
Yeah. No, and I don't really. Like, I sometimes will put something on there just to let my personal family know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't really promote on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I will put it on my Janice Gallant art page, and then sometimes I'll share it onto my feed. But not too, like, I try to keep it in between so I don't get flagged, right? Like, not too often.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I don't sell from my personal page. Sometimes I'll say, oh, by the way, everyone, if you're in Edmonton, I'm going to be in Edmonton at this fair. That's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. But a group.
And what's the difference between the group? Yeah.
Yeah. A group is what Soulfully Aligned Women is. So it's different. It's you open up, you create a group on Facebook instead of a page. You create a group. You name it whatever you want, and then you invite people to come in, and it's a place for like-minded people to gather. So it would be a great place for you, Delmaine, to start to gather creatives in there. And what you could do is offer, a little free session, or you could say, let's paint together on this date, and just come in here live and we'll paint together. So you can do it live in the Facebook group, or you could do a Zoom. The thing that's really important is to start gathering emails.
Yeah.
Because
I've already started that too.
Yeah. Because I have like 800 people or whatever in Soulfully Aligned Women. Not all of them are engaged in it. But if Facebook decides to crash groups or cancel groups, that's going to be like, that's huge. But I have a lot of those women on my email list, not all of them, but a lot. So I have about the same amount on an email list. I think it's about 700 or 800 right now. And the more you grow that, you will always have access. You will always have access. That's yours. Your email list is yours. But using social media, you're at the mercy of them. And it's funny because I noticed that every once in a while, it's like, some people call it, you get ghosted or something, where none of your posts are seen by anybody. And that's happening on Instagram right now. It's like really weird right now. I don't know what's going on, but and yet I know people are there watching and have commented, because I'll get that notification. But when I go to look at my numbers, it's like it's all at 0. So I don't know what's going on. And then every once in a while, it's like it takes a giant like leap forward and you get all this activity. So social media is funny that way. But
when you do have your email list, like where is it just on a list, or is there a place that you can put it?
I use MailChimp. So MailChimp is free to begin with, right? And you can get, I don't know, like 500 or more people on your list. So it's a good place to start. And that's where I do all my Monday morning. I schedule all my emails. Like I do them ahead of time, and then they just go out on Monday mornings. Sometimes I'm doing it Sunday night late. but that's my main place where I want to focus things. And the I don't know if you guys saw, I posted my new 3-part video in Soulfully Aligned Women. That picture there, it's called a landing page, and I created that in MailChimp. And when people click on that, it takes them to a little form. It says like, you want this video series? Awesome. Just put your name and email in here and you'll have access to it right away. So it's like you're gifting them something to get their email back, right? And it's a trust thing. And then I've also built now, which is new, anyone that comes into my MailChimp, I have a series of welcome emails that go to them, that slowly kind of acquaint them to who I am and what I do and what Soulfully Aligned Women about. And it's just a nice, it's a much warmer way of bringing them into my world. So there's all sorts of things you can do on there. So MailChimp,
what is the annual fee for MailChimp? I'm assuming or speculating that you are actually not using only the free version anymore.
Yeah, I just switched to the paid version like a month or 2 ago. Like it wasn't very long ago. And I think it's like $20 a month or something like that. It's not that much. But there's all sorts of like all these little things that you pay out to keep it on.
And that was my add up. Yeah, it's like, oh, I've got this little thing and this little thing, and it's $20 here and $18 here, and then at the end of the month it's like, oh, $400 on just marketing.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly,
and I'm not getting anything coming in, so something needs to change, right?
Yeah, well, for sure. If you're not getting anything, then I would don't invest until you start getting sales too, right? Like it'll come, and it has come slowly for me. So I'm like $400 or $500 a month for business expenses, but what would I be if I had a shop, right? So this is my shop.
And is the Zoom, is it $200 a year? Is that?
I think I pay $20 a month for Zoom. I do the monthly.
Okay.
It's cheaper to go.
I have to do monthly too, because you can't. Well, in the beginning, I do pay for like my market stuff ahead of schedule, and usually you just pay one shot on that. So it's kind of nice because when you go to the market, it's already paid for. By the time I get there, that's already done. And so anything that comes in, I feel like it's all free, but it's not. You feel better about it.
Yeah.
And what I found is, since I've been doing this now, if this is going to be going into my 3rd year, I moved my payments from my personal account into my business account, because in the beginning I was paying for it either way, but it wasn't showing up the same. Yeah. Now I have way more expenses in my business than I do in my personal life. So I'm able to start paying for things, which is really nice.
Yeah. And it's a good way to track it by using like one particular credit card or something, right? That's just good business, right? Yeah.
So it does take time though, like 2 to 3 years really to kind of get things where it's not coming out of your personal account.
Yeah. The first thing I think, and we'll talk about it in a minute, is the URL and a website, right? So that was the first thing I started paying for. But sorry, Kelly, was there something else there?
No, that's that was primarily was except I heard somebody say it's like $2,000, and I'm going, I
Wow.
don't recall that. So
It can get very expensive if you have big audiences, but I think
well,
up
and
to
I was
100
reading
people.
it.
Yeah.
And I was reading it and I'm thinking, well, that's not really where it's going to be at right just yet.
Yeah. And there is a free version too. At least there
Well, and
was.
you got to make your timer work for sure, because it's like 28 minutes, I got to go by.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I actually experienced that with one of my teachers slash coaches, and it was her first attempt at doing a Zoom call, and I've been very seasoned at them. And she visited and caught up on coffee for the first 18 minutes with one person of the 6 people on call.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, my timer just went, we're going to get cut off. Bye.
Oh,
So it's like, okay, well, so we signed up for this and we paid you, but
yeah.
you wouldn't invest the $20. So it was like, oh, well, bye. So she's no longer one of my coaches.
Right.
So it's like, no, that's not the energy I want. It's like, okay, you cheaped out on it,
Yeah.
but you want us to pay for it.
She's not fully invested in her business. She's
so I'm not
that's
part of that anymore.
Yeah, that's something that I thought of, like, that's why I up leveled my MailChimp, because I was putting out these emails, and then and all of a sudden I got oh, sorry, you've reached your limit for your audience. You can't put another email out for 24 hours. And I'm like, oh, dang. Okay. And I stopped, and I walked down the hall and I stopped, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm blocking my business. Like, what the heck? It's like, was $20 or something to go to the next level. If I don't believe that I'm fully in and that this business is going to grow, like, it's not going to grow. Right.
So I'm picking up on that same thing that we said, is if your offering to others is what you set that at, and you believe that your offering is worth that dollar amount, then people are going to buy it.
Absolutely.
And then same thing with the MailChimp, is like, well, I don't know, maybe they can wait another 24 hours before I send something out. And it's like, and then you have to pause and think about, okay, but here I am encouraging others to get my program, but I'm not willing to invest.
Right.
So there's that, it's a,
yeah.
It's not, I don't know what the word is. Oxymoron, double standard. Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's all just stay focused on moving forward in every energy area.
Exactly. And if you haven't invested in a, like, there's some young people coming out and going, yes, coming, my coaching is like $2,000 for the month, but they've never invested that in themselves. Like, I invested that one of the very, very first programs I took was $2,000. So I've done a $18,000 one and a $15,000 one. It's like, I've put the money in. And so I'm comfortable with saying what I'm sharing with you is valuable. And here's my price. And it's not near what I paid for the information because we're growing together, but I've been there. I've done it. I'm walking my talk. Right. So,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so you just popping back to this, start building your email list. That's the first thing that any marketer will tell you. Build your email list, create something that you want, create, serve, offer. And if you have a Facebook group, like, get a group started. And even Kelly, if you started a women's group or a circle of just a few people, hey, let's just come in this group and start sharing, positive things, or I'm willing to share info. I don't know if you're still thinking about the plants and herbs, but I'm willing to share some information each week about a certain herb. Like, I would really love that. I would be in there. I would love to learn more about, what herbs can I burn for healing, right? I don't know a lot about that, and I don't want to take the time to go and research it. I just want you to tell me.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, okay. So we were already in here. We're already talking about this, the ways, like, go where you love to be and where your audience is growing. Some people don't do Facebook at all, but that's where I started. That's where a lot of my clientele are. Facebook and Instagram. I haven't done TikTok. LinkedIn is more business, right? Like, go where you're comfortable going, right? And the Facebook groups are still hot. They're still a thing, right?
I think so too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Especially our age.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if you can create a space for people to come to that is not negative. I don't know. I don't have a lot of negative on my Facebook, but that's because the people that I associate with are more positive, right? Some people are just like, I'm staying off of Facebook. I can't stand it anymore. It's like, well, you maybe need to change your friends.
Yeah. And it depends. What are they joining?
Yeah.
Like, what are they joining that's so negative? I'm
Yeah.
not having that trouble either with anything that I get. And once I did join one of those information kind of groups for the town, and it was so trashy. I just canceled it. It's like,
I know.
I don't want to
Yeah.
hear about that.
People start bickering on these things. And
Oh, it's ridiculous.
yeah, that's totally.
Yeah.
Instagram, they get to know you in Instagram. It's really great for visuals, for artists. And of course, the stories and reels and lives are like the place to be right now. I noticed this morning, I went into Instagram, I looked at it, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, advertisement, 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 advertisement. And I had to go really far down before I finally found someone that I follow. And
Yeah.
so the stories are where the people are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do a little more reels too. In my last reel I put out, I had 300 people that watched it. I
Awesome.
didn't have many likes. I had some, but
But
I
that's
was
still
like,
good.
wow, 300 people got that
So-
in like 4 days. So
When
Yeah.
you say I didn't have many likes, when I see the Instagram post, there's only a heart.
Yeah.
So
right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but it's different than the Facebook, because the
Oh,
Facebook
I
has the
think I
thumbs
did
up.
it on, yeah, I think I did it on Facebook.
And it's like, well, I don't heart it. I like it, but where there's no option to put a thumbs up
Right.
as opposed to a heart. And it's
Yeah.
like, so I don't comment. Like I think it's amazing, but like, and it's like, oh, so and so loved an image, and I went, I didn't really love it.
Right.
I
But
do.
with
Yeah,
Insta, it's the only option. So
Yeah.
I've started to figure that out, and it was like, okay, now I can actually understand that I could put a heart thing on there,
And you will see more of that person then if you put a heart on it. If you don't,
okay,
it doesn't necessarily
'em
come
back.
back up.
Right.
Yeah.
okay,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's why I say every once in a while I'll say to people, click, the heart, or like the post, and you'll see me more often. But yeah, I haven't done that much, but yeah, I try to think of Instagram hearts as likes. So
One thing that I
Yeah.
get on my webpage, which is a little bit weird, like I will get the odd comment, but they're totally irrelevant to my stuff. So I just block them, right?
yeah.
I can kind of tell that, okay. And plus they're usually from Asia or somewhere in the world.
Or
that
it's a fake
really has
account.
nothing to do with me at all. Like I sometimes if it sounds a little bit legit, I'll just send a little note just saying, oh, so great, you love my art, hope to
Yeah.
see, if you have any questions regarding it.
Yeah.
or they want to join. What I'm really finding a lot that's weird lately, and I tried to block it on my personal page, is I'm getting all these interested men. It's like, yeah, right, whatever.
I
Delete,
know.
delete. And that's no issue whatsoever. I don't have a problem doing that. I had a friend that was scammed by a guy that said he was a military guy,
Yeah.
and she sent a car to him in Africa. It's like, what? Why would you do that? Anyway, she learned from that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just delete those. You get
Yeah.
every once in a while. Hey, beautiful. Great smile. Will you add me as a friend?
Yeah. it's
No.
like, no.
Delete.
Yeah,
Delete.
exactly. Exactly.
Ooh, creepy.
Wild. It is. It's actually really
It
creepy.
is. Oh, be sure to put the double protection on your Instagram and Facebook.
How do you do that?
Now, on Instagram, you'd have to go into your settings, and let me just see if I can find it here. You go in your settings. Come on, stop. There we go. Hold on, find it here. Oh, settings and privacy, right at that. So the three lines at the top right corner, and
Yep.
then click settings and privacy. And let's see where it is. Because I am on public settings because I want more people following me. Somewhere in here. Although I think they might be getting or coming away from it. I got some sort of notice. Where is it?
Account privacy.
Maybe it is in there.
mine-
Nope, that's not it.
No, that's what gives you a choice of being private or public.
It's a verification code. So you're looking for verification, and I have a business account, so I'm not sure where it would be. Maybe I could Google it too.
Yeah,
Um,
and then maybe just drop a comment into the
Yeah.
page or send us an email, because
Yeah.
the three of us could sit here Googling all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So setting up a two-step verification code on both Facebook and Google. I mean, that's something that
Okay.
you could also Google. But that keeps you from getting your account hacked.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when if I log in, if say I had not brought my own computer with me and I logged in on Dad's computer, my phone gets a verification saying,
Right.
hey, you just
Right.
logged in from this IP address and this computer.
Was it
Is
you?
this really you? Yeah.
Yeah. So you might already have it on your Google, the two-step verification, but just double check in Instagram and Facebook, so that, because you know how many people get their stuff hacked, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And stolen. So definitely make sure you have that set up. See if we're doing public settings, and yeah. So
Yeah,
okay.
mine aren't public, so it's
Yeah. So if you start like wanting to build a group or something, you'll want, like, your Facebook group would be separate from your Facebook page, like your Facebook personal page. You have a personal page. You can set up a business page, and then you can set up a group too. I have all three of those. So my personal page is where a lot of my friends and acquaintances are that, really aren't interested in my business, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
My cousins, family.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing to consider is having a website, because again, that's a place that you own, and it's a place where you can put your information so people can learn more about you. You would need a URL first, so you can purchase your own like domain name. I was just actually looking at purchasing soulfullyalignedwomen.com. It's taken apparently, but soulfullyalignedwomen.ca is available. And I think I will get it just so that no one else does, so that I have it, and I don't know what I'll use it for, but but purchase your name, like
Yeah.
delmainochar.com and .ca, and if you have a name for your business, purchase that. And it's usually, $10 or something for the first year. It's not a lot, but that's what you would use then for your website. And any domain name that you have, like if somebody was searching soulfullyalignedwomen.ca and nothing came up, I could make it so that it redirects them to my website.
Right.
So that can be done within GoDaddy. A GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy because that's where I first started. There's so many different ones now, and they all pretty much do the same thing.
And again, is this one of those annual fees?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Mine is $17 a year with Google. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And then if you create a website after you have your domain name, it'll ask for your domain name when you build the website. And that's where people would go, oh, www.soulfullyalignedwomen.com or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The same thing, if you ever, just a word of caution, if you ever get a Teachable, put it the school name, your name. So people search. Yeah, because I didn't do that at first. I didn't understand that. And then I had to go and change it. And it was, yeah. But the website, it can be a simple, this is me, one page, this is me, this is what I do. Here's a couple pictures and done. And some contact, like a contact form or number or email. And that, Delmain, do you have a website?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's yours on?
Delmain Art Shep. Oh, it's on what is it on? Google, I think. Google or
like mine is a WordPress platform.
Oh, mine's
Like,
WordPress. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Apparently like 70% of the web pages are WordPress.
I find it a little complicated.
It is a little complicated. I actually hired someone to teach me how to do it. I think I spent about $500 and she just taught me. We set up my page together and she taught me. And then after that, I can keep going in and changing things. And yeah.
Yeah, like I can go in and change things, but I still have a person that I pay monthly. I pay them. What am I paying? 60 something monthly for them, or no, 47 to do it. And so, but I find that they don't do anything unless I tell them.
Right.
Like I have to say, hey, can you go and check on this? Something's not right.
Yes, because oftentimes with WordPress things crash and
they just the weird things happen, because I do have a lot of pictures in there and different things. I fill my calendar up.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm really not happy with is I can't have an e-commerce on there. So I have to find something to do an e-commerce, and I think I can do it with Square, but it just is going to take me some time because I
have WooCommerce on mine. People can purchase online.
And how much did it cost for you to get WooCommerce on there? Because my guy that told me, he said, "Oh, it's going to cost you $1,500 to get it on there."
Oh gosh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
So, did you do it yourself?
No, I had help. I think I have for that and this extra security. I think it's about $300 a year. But yeah, you might want to look into that. I had helped. She helped me set it up, but we did it right at the beginning. So this was.
Yeah, I think that's where I ran into trouble, is because I did that. And I'm thinking that I might just switch completely over to Square, because I've heard that it's much easier to work with and it's already part of it. So I can still use my domain name, cancel WordPress, and then just switch it over.
So the other thing too is like use whatever is comfortable. Shopify is an option, and Shopify can be linked into Instagram, I think, quite easily, which is really nice. I'm having trouble trying to set up a shop on Instagram with my WooCommerce. I need to get some help
Okay.
with that.
Yeah.
But Wix, those are all good options. Teachable is a great place if you're doing courses and putting them in there. I started by doing courses, creating just a page on my WordPress website. And it was really nice because it was free, and but you needed a password for that. And I find that people forget their password and then can't access their course. And also I was worried about my WordPress crashing, my website crashing, and me losing all my content. So then I switched to Teachable. I kind of have it on both, but I do more on Teachable now. And now I'm actually looking at getting my own app. So so that'll be even different because a lot of people don't like Teachable. There's other ones out there too. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. So that's a whole new learning curve for me that's starting this month. So, but Teachable, when I started, it was free. They had a free platform. They don't anymore. And Teachable can be quite expensive, too. So, it does, they take a % of your sales and also a monthly fee for me. So,
Yeah.
So I like it when people go, can I pay you by e-transfer? Sure you can. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And just a note about stock images, like make sure your images are not, you're not sharing other people's images and you're being very ethical there, right? Do we all know about Canva?
I'm
Yeah.
not familiar with Canva.
Okay.
But I have a hard time using it. I can't
Do you?
figure it out. I cannot.
Oh, we could set up a share on that, and I could show you guys how I use it all the time on my
Yeah.
computer. It's
It is pretty, like you can get such nice images from
Oh,
it.
all my
Everything.
images pretty much come from Canva.
And is that a monthly fee as well?
No,
Or is
they
that-
have a free section for you, and you can choose to up level and if you want, but I'm not even sure what the difference is. You get a lot there. You do get more images in the pro. Like there's a lot of images I can get because I pay a little bit each month, but yeah, I do pay for that one too. So yep. Yeah. When you go to launch something, like let's say you guys are gonna like launch a group or something, go, I'm starting a group, come join me, have a party, like we're gonna meet at this time, invite your friends, and make it exciting. When I launch for like this next month, I'm going to be launching for this program again. And I actually already have 3 people signed up for it, and I haven't even launched yet, which is pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Right, Kelly, we waited 6 months to get more than Kelly there.
It was a long time coming.
It was a long time. It was longer than that. It was longer than that. So, but I'll be launching some like new offers and stuff in the Soulfully Aligned Women, and just to build the energy up and to be able to share then all about the program. And so those kind of launches go really, like if you plan them and you take the time to make it really effective, they're good. They work, right? Usually the courses that flopped for me where I didn't get many people signing up is I didn't build the energy to begin with. So it's an energy, right?
Yeah.
And I have giveaways and free stuff. And yeah, make sure they leave with good information, even if they're not coming or signing up for you, right? And don't be attached to the outcome. Be in the energy of sharing and serving regardless of what happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then here, business is both energy and good business skills. There's structure and there's flow, and you cannot sit back and go, it's all energy and I'm just going to put it out there. You have to actually be taking the action too. You are the one that is going to have fun with this, creating these offers and getting it out there. So it's in your energy. When you are excited to share it, then people feel that. So your business, put emails out, go on social media, do the offers, free stuff, like offering free stuff for email returns. Those are really good, right? All right. Oh, and the whole world is waiting online. It's not just a shop on the corner, right? And there's some journal prompts here for you. Why is it important that you are supported financially? You need money to go out there and be you. You need that. And we need to value our time and our money and say, yes, like, oh, all I need is this amount of money. It's like, oh, no, that's scarcity. Because if you have more than enough, you can share it with, like, I could like donate to Dalmaine so she can get out there and do more, right? Like, we can help each other. We can help other women in business. We could invest in other people's businesses to help them. So the more you have, the more you can do, the more good you will do. So really work through these journal prompts and see if there's any blocks there for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that is the end. Yes. So
Awesome.
this is, yeah, if you guys want a Canva session, I'm happy to do that. I'll reach
would
out
be-
and see. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I
Canva
think
is so much fun.
Yeah, I think that like when I was doing it, trying to get it to work, I just thought, oh, screw this. I'm just going back to Word because I can do posters and everything I need in my Word. And
Oh,
like Microsoft, like I used it for 20 years. So
yeah.
for me,
Well,
I know how to manipulate it.
all these modules, like I think all of these I created in Canva.
Yeah, like I
And
Okay.
do. They look really nice.
the
I guess
calendars I
because
give out. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
I think it would be exciting to get do a little project like that. So
Okay, that sounds good. I will work on a date and time that works for everybody. I'll send an email out and we can play on Canva. Because that is gold for posting pictures and that, right?
yeah.
And December is a little less, we have a little less going on, so maybe we can sneak it in there. Okay.
Yeah, just pop it in the email or the Facebook or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it.
All right. Well, I guess we're are we on next week too?
Not next Saturday, next Friday. Yes.
Okay.
That's the permission to succeed. Now, I will mention this in the group too, but one of the weeks, there's only 7 weeks here because there was 8, but one of the weeks is actually creating your mandala for your business. And that really would have been probably this week. But yeah, so we already have that in the beginning part of our Teachable program. So yeah, so in between here, you can create a mandala for your business. All right.
We have, okay. I was just looking at it and I'm going, okay, good. There's nothing on Thursday because I think that might be my driving day.
Okay. Yeah. And it's the US Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Oh, right. That's why. Okay.
Friday is Black Friday. So we all have to come here first and talk, and then you can go shopping online.
I don't do online shopping, so I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I do a lot. I bought a lot of my Christmas gifts, and it's really helpful.
Yeah, no, that's a story within itself. So
Yeah, exactly. True.
all right. Well, you go ahead and
just Janice, you know how that one time that it was just me and you, and I did my did our sacred geometry. I had lost it for like 3 months. Didn't know where it went. Anyway, I found it. I cleaned last night. And
Oh,
I just
good.
wanted to show you, and I realized, wow, is it ever nice? So
Oh,
I don't
Oh,
know
wow.
if you
good.
can see it, but
Cool.
when I found it, it's like, oh wow, actually
Yes,
that turned out really
because you
cool.
had the dragonflies in there. I remember
Yes,
that now.
yes, yeah,
That's beautiful.
yeah. So I was just happy with it.
That's
Yay.
cool.
Got gold sparkle on it, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Okay,
Okay, hang it up. Yeah.
ready to go. Exactly. Don't lose it again.
Right? All right. Well, you guys have a great day and
too.
safe drive, Kelly. And I will see you guys next week.
All
Yeah,
right.
let me know what happens for Tuesday. Just shoot me off a text.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.